Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who are new, welcome, and I hope you like what you find here. These are going to be your general readings for the month of July. I do want to mention again, like I did in my last mid-month reading, that the Uranus 7-year projections are available for you. Tremendous amount of information coming through. That information is down below for you. And these readings in July are general, so if they don't make sense to you, listen to your other signs. I don't want to keep this intro too long. Keep in mind that sometimes certain things will make sense to you right away, and sometimes none of it will make sense to you right away. From what I gather, from hearing from you, it almost always makes sense to you at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. So do listen to it again. If it doesn't make sense to you, I do want to stress that I don't know what it is, but in the month of July, there's this incredible feeling of release. So many of you will feel that. You may have been going through it and feeling it already, but there's a tremendous amount of energy. I feel like it's trying to push through us, which will catapult many of us forward into various new ways and various new beginnings. So overall, it feels very exciting. It might be scary for some of you because the newness also represents not knowing what's to come. So there might be a lot of surprises too. But generally speaking, there is this uplifted feeling of excitement, but also I don't know what's going to happen. And not because it's bad, but because it's I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what waits for me at the end of this journey, whatever that is. So do keep in mind that this is general. For private session, of course, that information is down below for you. Thank you so much for liking, for sharing, for subscribing. If you wish to comment how this connects with you, I read every single one of them. Please do. I would love that. And above all, whoever you are and you have any birthdays in July, happy birthday to you. And have a great month of July, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye. Hello, beautiful Libras. This is going to be a reading for the month of July 2018. Let me tell you that it is kind of a bizarre reading, not in a bad way. It's actually fantastic. But it started off when I was meditating on your energy. I was told, lemur, look up lemur. So I looked up lemur. So apparently the symbolism for you as far as an animal, spirit animal, or a symbolic spiritual symbol, lemur is supposed to mean something to you. I actually did not find a lot of information on what that means. I found some, and what I found is I felt I was meant to say. So for some of you, the idea of lemur is coming in because it represents a connection to a spirit or a high-ranking position in a previous lifetime. So huge spiritual connection here. I've never received lemur before in my entire life as a symbol to give to somebody. So this is going to be, even if just for one of you, there is a connection here to high-ranking spirit. If you believe in that, well, you must. You're watching my channel. High-ranking spirit is being connected to you. It was speaking about the word protection. So not because you're in danger, but I feel because you are coming out with something, and that's actually is being shown. You're coming out of a shell. You're coming out with an aspect of you that has not been seen before. You're coming out in some way, shape, or form. What it also said is that lemur often represents having a very high ranking spiritual position in a previous lifetime. So for those of you who this resonates with, you'll know it right away. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, it's not for you. So just skip over this part. But it does connect to past lives, and I don't often talk about past lives in general readings because not everybody necessarily believes in that idea. So this is coming up, and for those of you who are meant to hear it. And I talked about the protection. So that's what was shown to me. So look up the lemur, L-E-E. No, I forget what the spelling is. It's not L-E-E, it's something else. So lemur is a symbol for you to look into. They also kept showing me the sign of a magician. So whenever I see this, opportunities is what comes to me first and foremost. It is also about having the ability to create something from scratch. So whether it is a business decision, a new employment opportunity, a new cycle in your life is beginning. There is something that's about to be manifested for you. Now, I'm having a conversation with my guides here, and I'm asking what is this about? And for some of you, it is transitioning from one work to another work. So this could be you've done something for a very long time and now you're transitioning to something different, and perhaps you are the one making your job, or you are creating your own job. For others of you, it is creating something substantial and having the tools to be able to do that. And I keep hearing the word transition. So all of us are going through transitions, but many of you feel like you're going through transitions. And it feels like the month of July is opulent, which is another word for abundant. And it signifies to me a brand new beginning, something about to manifest itself to you, or you'll see the manifestation of the seeds you have planted some time ago. Then I saw you, or whoever you are, being honored for your hard work. And this was being honored through from a superior or a superior being. And here again is the spiritual connection that's coming through. So this is not going to be for all of you, obviously, but it's going to be to select few of you that you're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe she just said that. So not only is there a high ranking spirit around you, you are also being honored by a superior being. So for those of you who this means something, comment below, because it's actually fascinating to me. The numbers around you are phenomenal because they are, well, 1, which is the magician, 8, which is strength, which comes to the number 9, and it is about letting go. So I always say, when we are about to begin something, more often than not, we just had to end something or let something go. As if to say, in order to make our energies available somewhere else, we need to let go of something that's taking our energy, or that is using our precious energy. But again, it's not endings in a bad way. It's releasing, letting things go, letting things fall away, letting go. You understand the concept of letting go. 8 is always number of abundance. So it feels like there's a lot of things going on in a month of, I almost said September. So for some of you, this is going to be between now and September when a lot of things will manifest themselves to you. And then I hear the words, treat yourself accordingly, as if to say, pat yourself on the back, you've done well. So there's something here that is about to transpire for many of you. Then I asked for specific information, and this is actually quite fascinating because you have the oyster, and the oyster comes through whenever there is a need to come out of hiding. But this particular hiding is you hiding an aspect of yourself, or you not allowing the world to see an aspect of yourself that's actually quite significant and quite magnificent, and also very valuable. So whatever it is, whether you are hiding part of your personality because you are afraid of whatever gazillion things we're afraid of, whether it's a gift that is being cultivated. The other thing that's coming forward is the idea of a pearl. And a pearl, according to my very limited knowledge, is a product of the muscle in the oyster, or the oyster living organism, creating grinding effect with a grain of sand, and that creates the pearl. So there is something substantial within you that is as magnificent as the analogy of a pearl, and it's as a result of a lot of hard work over time and a lot of grinding, which may stem into other lifetimes before this one. So either you're bringing forward a spiritual gift with you, whether you're bringing forward some sort of a spiritual healing ability, and that could be traditional or non-traditional, or whether you're bringing forward a voice that you have and you've never allowed that voice to see the light of day, whether it's spoken or singing. There is something that you are hiding that's quite significant, and it is meant to be hidden no longer. So that's what's happening now. Then I said, what do they need more of? And you got the raccoon. Whenever I see the raccoon, it's literally saying, come out of hiding. So these two cards let me show them to you. Basically the same thing. What are you hiding? And come out of hiding. Stop hiding. And this is going to be for those of you, maybe selected few, that know exactly what I'm talking about. I feel this is a gift that has the ability to be of monetary value. What do I mean by that? It's a gift or skill that you can capitalize on. That is, it can help you bring money in the most mundane way. It can bring you, it can help you make a living. Maybe it's a skill or gift that you've been sitting on for quite some time, and it is being suggested that you make a go of it and see how it goes. So the idea of stop hiding and stop hiding what's inside of you that's starting to wanting to come out and it's magnificent is very, very loud. Incidentally, I'm also looking at the message that says this is a time of you allowing yourself to be heard. So this is about having authentic voice, being true to yourself, and allow that truth to come out of you. So there's a theme here, as you can tell. Now, boring tarot cards, and when I say boring tarot cards, I do not mean to disrespect at all. It's actually the other way around. I just don't traditionally read tarot cards in the way that tarot readers do. So a few cards came up. Page of Cups, Seven of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and you have the Chariot in reverse. So I will tell you what I see as a story, and then we can go through each card. Actually, first and foremost, the moment I saw Page of Cups, I heard the word independence. I also heard that there's an opportunity being presented to you, and there is an idea of luck around this. It also is showing to me that you are either contemplating or working on creating something for the future that will turn out to be very lucky for you. That's first and foremost. What I'm also seeing is the Four of Pentacles, and to me, that message with Page of Cups is corresponding to Four of Pentacles, in that it has whatever it is that you may be bringing forward, or you may be doing that will be lucky, will have a financial component to it. So Four is stability. It is the beginnings of stability, so it's not an 8, but it shows me that there, whatever it is that I'm being asked to talk about, has the potential to give you financial stability, financial foundation, and then you can build upon that. So that's one. The other message is the Seven of Cups, and it's the first time I've looked at this particular card in this specific way. And what I'm seeing here is that some of you may not know what to pick, but it seems like the choice that has least what's the word I want to use? Least, oh my gosh, what is the word? It's a really important word. Least sureness about it seems to come to you as the one you want to pick the most. In other words, the one that's least sure seems to be grabbing your attention. Now, this could be a gift you have within yourself, and you don't trust it, and therefore if you were to use that gift, you kind of don't know how it would work because you don't have any data in your history, but my attention is being drawn to it. I also want to say, be careful around sneaky people around you. They want what you have. I've never gotten a message like this with Seven of Cups, so this is going to be at least for one of you. And I hear the word acquaintances. Some of you, I feel, are trying to figure out whether you want to move, and then I'm seeing New York. So some of you might be thinking of moving to New York State, state. There is New York here connected to whatever decisions you are making. Now, the Chariot in reverse is telling me that there is something preventing you from feeling that you are on point. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to be. And what I mean by that, what do I mean on point? Meaning focused. Now, clearly you're not focused because you're still trying to decide. So the Chariot in reverse is just telling me that temporarily you may not be feeling very focused because you're still in a position to decide of what it is that you want to do or what it is that you want to create. And whatever you want to do and create is going to have a corresponding emotional component. So it's really important for you to ask yourself these questions. What do I want? But more specifically, what is the emotion or feeling that I am after? And I've said this many times. Sometimes we want a certain thing, but unless we understand why we really want it, once we get that thing, it's not very satisfying because we're not satisfying the thing that wants to be satisfied. So example, basic, let's say I want a really expensive car. Well, why do I want a really expensive car? Because it's going to make me feel good about me. So does that mean that without the car I don't feel good about me? Possibly. And if that's the problem, the car isn't going to solve that. The car is momentarily going to mask it until you get used to it, and it's no longer going to be enough. So the thing to work on is feeling good within myself, regardless of what car I drive. So that makes sense to you, I'm sure. Then I said, what is it that they need to focus on? And it's interesting because you have never-ending story. So this is what I want to talk about, is the idea of being stuck in your past, particularly when it represents the idea of lack, L-A-C-K. So you may come from a past where there has been not enough love, not enough money, not enough sustenance, not enough happiness, not enough whatever. And you may be dragging that with you. And if it does, oftentimes it will financially affect you, no question about it. But it's also part of the reason why you might be hiding something, or you have been hiding on your life. Perhaps you come from an idea that there is not enough, or you have been told you are not enough, and as a result of you feeling not enough, you're going to hold yourself back, and of course you're going to hide. So the message here is loud and clear. Stop being the person in the past. In other words, every time you compare yourself to others, you are making yourself feel the way you don't want to feel. So this is clearly for those who don't have a very high value of themselves. And I think we all compare ourselves to some degree, one way or the other at some points. And comparison isn't necessarily a bad thing. There's no good or bad. It's just not, well, let's just leave it there. However, if we compare ourselves, and it always seems to be that we find something about other people that makes us feel not good enough about us, well, that's a fundamental problem. If we compare ourselves with where we're at versus, let's say, somebody else, and you're like, yeah, I really admire that person. Do I need to be that person? No, I feel pretty good where I am, but I admire that person. Okay, what is it that I want to do in order to maybe, accomplish something? So you're stemming from a different space. You're not coming from the space, oh my God, I'm not enough. You're coming from the space, hey, it's pretty good, but I want to try something different. Huge energetic component. So there's a need for you to release something about yourself that is limiting you, and hence not allowing you to come out in the open with whatever it is. Another message here is, let go of something that needs to die. An old friendship, an old relationship, an old way of looking at yourself, particularly when it's detrimental to you. And also the idea of giving up. If you have given up on yourself, or if you have given up on the idea of having abundance because you've had difficulties, if you've given up on the idea of not ever being successful or feeling good, if you have been given up on before and therefore you felt not great about you, clearly you'd be hiding then, most likely. There is a need to let go of that analogy about yourself. Hugely, hugely important. The number 7 is being highlighted to me, which of course it's the number 7, but it's also July. But to me, it is a message that says in the next little while, particularly I'm assuming the month of July, I also got May. So for some of you, you may have been experiencing this already in May, or may have started in May, but there's an important, this is a time where a lot of important decisions will be made for you and by you, and it's also time where you can glean a lot of information about you that will allow you to choose a different path. You do have a new beginning, and I saw the Magician, but also that will make you it'll make you change the way you see you, and therefore how you see the world, and what you attract as a result is also going to shift. I also want to say, remember, you are important. I don't know who I'm saying this to, but I need to underline, like it's being underlined over and over and over and over. And there's a sense of needing to feel validated, or needing to tell you to validate yourself. So remember, you are important. And then I hear nothing matters but you now. So this is a message of looking after yourself. Perhaps you've been looking after other people and you had to hide your gifts and there was never any time for you. And now it's time for you. Release all other toxic baggage, particularly ones that serve you, which would be toxic, and let yourself move forward, or let yourself go towards an opportunity, or move forwards towards something better and away from something. And I think that's all I have. And then I'm being shown a beautiful flower blooming in towards the sun, and then again I'm hearing the word release. So there's something with the word release that will transpire over the next few weeks. And if this doesn't make sense to you right now, listen to it later. It almost always makes sense to you as I hear from you. And of course, this is a private this is a general message, so it will not make sense to all of you. If you would like a private session with me, that information is down below. Thank you so much. If you would like to comment, I would love to read. Read every single one of your comments. And most of all, enjoy your summer and the month of July. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care and get more sleep.